Alright guys, welcome back. This is Mr. Noland. We're now going to be doing our homework for tonight. I know the date here is wrong. It should say 2018. Don't worry. Alright, so we have a test again on Friday. It's over customary and metric unit conversions. Like I've said in all my videos, this will probably be the hardest test you will take all year. The easiest way to do this is to create your one chart, and you must use your star chart. Alright, so let's look at number one. The gasoline tank of a minivan holds 18 gallons. How many pints can the tank hold? So here we go. Looking at our star chart, we're going from gallons to pints. Well, I can't go from gallons to pints. I have to go from gallons to quarts and then quarts to pints. So here's what we can do. You have 2 pints and 4 quarts. If you multiply those two numbers, 2 times 4, you get 8. So there are 8 pints in 1 gallon. So here's my little one chart. We have pints and we have gallons. Again, we just said there are 8 pints in 1 gallon. But I don't need 1 gallon. It says I need 18 gallons. Well, to get from 1 to 18, you have to multiply by 18. So what is 18 times 8? Well, let's see. 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 6 is 14. So the answer is 144 pints. Remember, if you do not label with units on the test, it will be wrong. We need the measurement because we're dealing with measurements. I'm going to go and highlight what we solved for and the final answer. Alright, number 2. Cell phones can weigh as little as 56 grams. How many kilograms can the cell phone weigh? So let's see here. We're talking about grams and kilograms. Well, here we are. 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Some of you are saying this problem looks very similar. That's because you've seen this problem before. Hint, hint. Might be on your test. So we have grams and we have kilograms. Again, according to our chart, for 1 kilogram, there's 1,000 grams. But notice I don't need 1,000 grams, I need 56 grams. Well, here's my scale factor. To get from 1,000 to 1, you have to divide by 1,000. So same thing here, divide by 1,000. Okay, some of y'all don't know how to do this division here. You see how this number's on the outside? This would be like top in, bottom out. That is how you would set it up right there if you were to divide. Can 1,000 go into 56? No, it cannot. Add your decimal up top, add a 0. Can 1,000 go to 560? No, it cannot. So you add a 0 up top, and you add a 0 down here. How many times can 1,000 go into 5,600? It goes in there 5 times. And then notice I have a remainder of 600, so add an extra 0. How many times can 1,000 go into 6,000? It goes in there 6 times. So the answer is 0.056 kilograms. Alright, number 3. Oh, this one sounds great. Ice cream. I need some of that right now. A recipe for ice cream calls for 1.656 liters of milk. How many milliliters of milk are in the recipe? So we're going from liters to milliliters. So here we go. Liters to milliliters. Well, looking at your star chart, it tells us 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. So 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. Well, it now says I have 1.656 liters. I need to know how many milliliters that is. Well, to go from 1 to 1,000, you multiply by 1,000. So what is 1.5 or 1.656 times 1,000? Again, some of y'all know to move over your decimal. Others of us don't. So let's see. What do y'all want to do here? I say we just move the decimal over. Does anyone know how many times we can move the decimal over? Anybody? Alright, if you were to move it over, you have to move it over 3 times to the right. 1, 2, 3. Because we're multiplying by 1,000. So there is your answer. It is 1,656 milliliters of milk. Again, some of y'all don't know how to move over the decimal. Then you can just straight up multiply 1.656 times 1,000. You'll get the same answer. It's the same thing. Oh, look at the Statue of Liberty problem. It's the same thing we already saw. Hint, hint. You might see it on your test. Hint, hint. The Statue of Liberty weighs 450,000 pounds. How many tons does the statue weigh? So we are comparing tons to pounds. Well, if you look at your star chart, it tells us right here that 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. So 1 ton, 2,000 pounds. But it says I need 450,000 pounds. Okay. Well, to get from 1 to 2,000, you multiplied by 2,000. But look here, I'm not going the same direction with my arrow now, am I? So instead of multiplying, you now have to divide by 2,000. Top in, bottom out. You notice how both of them end with 3 zeros? Just take the 3 zeros off. Oh, look how easy that was. Now how many times can 2 go into 4? Goes in there twice. How many times can 2 go into 50? You can go in there 25 times. So the answer is just 225 tons. Alright, almost done. The Ted William Tunnel under Boston Harbor is 2.57 kilometers long. How many centimeters is the length of the tunnel? So we are going from kilometers to centimeters. Well, if you look, I can go from kilometers to meters and meters to centimeters. So I can't do centimeters to kilometers. So what you're going to do is you're going to take 1,000 and you're going to multiply it by 100. So 1,000 times 100 would be 100,000. So, again, we are comparing kilometers and centimeters. We just said 1 kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeters. But it says I have to go 2.57 kilometers. Okay, so to go from 1 to 100,000, you multiplied by 100,000. 2.57 times 100,000. It'd be nice if I could actually write out the right number here. There it is, 100,000. Can anyone tell me what 100,000 times 2.57 is? Anybody? Alright, well, let's go ahead and show you. Times 2.57. Again, start by kicking the decimal to the back, so that's 2 movements at the end. 7 times 0, 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 7 times 1. Second row, add a 0. 5 times 0, 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 5 times 1. Third row, you have to add 2 zeros. 2 times 0, 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 2 times 1. Add straight down. Okay, remember I have to move the decimal back 2 places. 1, 2. So you should get 257,000. Again, some of y'all just know how to move the decimal over, so that's fine if you just move the decimal over. Again, the final answer is 257,000 centimeters. Alright, last one. Jackson bought 6 gallons of punch for a pizza party. After the party, there were still 6 quarts of punch left. How many quarts of punch was used at the party? Ooh, this is a tough problem. So let's see here. We're going from quarts to gallons. Well, it tells us right here that 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So here we go. Gallons, quarts. Again, we just said 1 gallon is 4 quarts. But it says I use 6 gallons. Well, to get from 1 to 6, you have to multiply by 6. So 4 times 6 is 24. So there was 24 quarts at the party. If you tell me the answer is 24 quarts, you are wrong because you did not read the question. After the party, there were still 6 quarts of punch left. How many quarts of punch was used? So you take how many quarts there was total, minus how much was left, and you get 18. There was 18 quarts of punch used. So the answer is 18 quarts. Make sure you read this part of the problem because most y'all would have gotten that wrong. Alright guys, I can't emphasize enough. Study, study, study. This is going to be a very difficult test. I posted a whole bunch of videos. I know they're somewhat long, but hey, it's there to help you. Use your resources to your advantage. Alright guys, have a good one. Bye.